Here we go. Oh my God.
Hey.
If you knew what went on today. So let me just, first of all, welcome to What's the Story with Maria. I want to make sure, this is public. So we are going live right now. And so this is, my name is Maria. This is What's the Story with Maria. And it has been one hell of a crazy day. And I'll tell you why. My guests are going to be patient. I have to tell the story. Bill Goffey has joined us. Hi, Bill Goffey. So today I woke up and my alarm clock was off. And I thought, oh, maybe I unplugged it by accident. And then I walked through the rest of the house. Hi, Suzanne Mason has joined us. David Slauson has joined us. Yes, Billy loves the background. Thank you, Bill. You know Billy Goffey. He's a friend of John's too.
Yeah. Hey, Bill. How are you?
So I opened my front door and there was a note from the landlord saying that the whole building was out because it was an electrical emergency and Con Edison was going to have the building out until 6 p.m. I thought, oh my God, my show's at 9. Is it going to be back on in time? So what did I do? I went to the gym. I said, I'm not going to focus on this. Got back home. It was 6 o'clock and it still wasn't on. So I called both of these wonderful people and I said, listen, we have to go to plan B. And so I called Judy Mesa. Thank you, Judy Mesa. And said, can we borrow your apartment? And she was like, sure. And now here's the irony of this. The show was going to be called The Jersey Show because both of these wonderful singers are from Jersey. And John, when I was talking to John, said, oh, we should call my friend Lisa. She's from Jersey too. So as the higher power would have it, our show is also coming to you live from Jersey. New York is in the background, though.
There it is.
There it is. There's New York in the background, the skylight. And so here we are. Chris DePiero is a Jersey guy. Hi, Chris. Chris, we're broadcasting from Judy's because there was an electrical. Con Ed is working on my building, and there's no lights or power.
Is it just your building or is it the area?
Just my building. So Scott Evan Davis has joined us, incredible playwright. Hey, Scott, I was going to call you this week. You should be on my show. Scott is an amazing playwright. Lauren Moran Mills, also a Jersey girl.
Yeah.
She was on the show a few weeks ago. Ed Kutu, my friend, he's in Connecticut, Rocky Hill, Connecticut. He has a salon called Blade Salon. Let me see who's coming. These are our regulars that pop on every week. Okay, so we are in Jersey. We're doing a Jersey show. My friend Chris DePiero has a show called Live from Jersey, funny enough. So he's another Jersey guy. Yes, fellow Jerseyans, Lauren. Lauren has a radio show as well. So anyway, okay, so I've been trying to get Michael Vaccaro is on. Hey, we know Michael. He's famous and cute as a button. He's
famous.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to have John on for a while because John and I were talking about a CD, and I've made a few CDs in my day, and so we talk shop. And he just finished a CD. It's beautiful, and I love it. I play it all the time. Mostly when I'm in the shower. I don't know if that means anything, but I just need to decompress and I put that beautiful album on. And he said, so we got a day where he was in town and I was in town. And he said, hey, can I invite my friend Lisa? She's working on a CD too. And she's a Jersey girl.
And she's an amazing singer.
I know. I did a little research there. I had to check it out. Gene Simpson Dunn is joining us from Illinois. Hi, Gene, right on the Indiana line. Okay, so John just finished your album.
Yep.
It's called Something Shiny,
Something
right?
Shiny, yeah. That's a lyric from a song that I wrote.
Okay.
That's on the track 2. It's a little snippet of a lyric.
Isabella Raskowski, that's my cousin in Massachusetts, my cousin Rena in Massachusetts. They came on at the same time. Look at that. Okay, so Something Shiny is your album.
Yeah.
And it's a lyric. You named your album Something Shiny because of the lyric.
Well, yeah, it was my time it's about I chose all the songs. I wrote 3 and chose songs that had lyrics that represent all these songs are the Something Shinies that were either written by people that inspired me or songs that inspired me for the 10 years that I actually lived full time and worked in the city.
Okay.
So there's a Michael Holland
I
cover.
love
There's a Tim DePasqua.
Oh my
cover,
God, Tim DePasqua.
Yeah.
I am a huge fan.
I am a fan of his too.
And he's just the nicest guy. He's like the nicest person.
You know, his contribution to the CD is all in the he did arrangements of the songs, and he's the most
he did on your album?
Almost all of them, yeah. And a lot of almost all the keyboards are him.
Really?
He structured them for me. You know what I mean? Like you can say, I want to cover Randy Newman's I Think It's Gonna Rain Today. That's on there. But
right.
Tim was able to give it his his spin. I do a "You Belong to Me" that Joe
I
Stafford
love
did,
that.
but he did it in a like music box.
You know what's
arrangement.
funny? I was going to ask you about all that stuff. Like, I love the arrangements, and
That's Tim.
well, that
You know what
makes
I mean?
total sense
He
because I'm a
was
huge fan.
He contributed hugely to it, and it's all gorgeous stuff he came up with. We did "Sleepy Man."
I love Sleepy
but I do it
Man.
as a it's got like almost I hate to say it, like a boy band feel to it. It's not the typical guitar lullaby.
Yes.
You know what I mean, these are all so lyrically, all the lyrics of all the songs are telling my there's the feelings that I experienced while I was here.
Right.
Kind of goes in an arc. I'm old fashioned. I think you should listen to an album from beginning to end.
Listen, I'm exactly the same way. I hate people that just flip. Now nobody knows anything about albums anymore.
Yeah.
Like well, I'm much older than both of you, but what we used to do was, first of all, you'd go to the record store if you knew the album was coming out, and you waited in line.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a big deal. You heard it on the radio station. You went, you waited in line. It was released. You ran home. Your friends met you there, and you played this album, and you played it over and over and over again. And it did it made sense from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And even with my albums, I make sure that there's a storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
So I
And
totally
it doesn't
get
have to
that.
be like you write all your songs. And they're
Michael
beautiful.
Vaccaro says, me too. Yeah, I write all my songs. But even if I were to do a show,
Yeah, right.
because on my shows I do some of my originals, but I do a lot of covers.
Yeah.
I plan it the same way. Michael Harper's joined us, also a Jersey guy.
Mhm.
Cheryl Giuliani Rubenstein is out in LA. Hi, sweetheart. Michael Sawyer has joined us. He's in New York. Mark Katzoff, he's in Boston. Roberta MacGyver, she is in New York. So many nice people, all artistic, wonderful people. So we were talking to John De Palma about his new album, Something Shiny, and George Fernandez, he's in Miami and Kentucky. He and his husband, they live in both places. So we wanted to say hi to those guys. Now, I'm going to go back and forth.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm talking to John. I love John's album. I really, people will send you stuff from time to time, or you buy stuff, whatever, and you listen to it and you say, I like that. And you put it aside. But I just kept playing your album over and over. I was like, I love this album. And a lot of it is songs that I know and I can sing along to, but
Can I say something?
yeah.
It was my intention to make sure that every track was singable, because that's the only kind of
Well,
music
that's what
I
I'm
grew up on
doing.
vocal music. So if you can't sing it, then I
love it.
don't have and lyrics are most important. But if the song speaks to me lyrically
Mhm.
and it has a great melody that you can sing, those are the covers I did. So you
I
got it.
Love it. I love it, love it, love it. And it's relaxing and beautiful. And I personally am a big fan. Let me see your album. Let's show it to
Okay.
everybody. So I'm a big fan of, this is a great cover.
Mhm.
Great cover. Now, the first thing that came to mind is, boy, he's in good shape, because it was taking me a while to get up from that pose. That's the first thing I thought.
actually didn't get up from that photo.
Right. Well, there you go. Okay, good to know. So I didn't feel so bad. But it's a wonderful album, and it's so you have all your stuff here. This is what I loved about CDs.
These pictures, artwork is from my friend Larry Porter, who's an
Oh.
artist in Asbury. The
Wow.
photographs were taken in Asbury by my photographer friend from Asbury.
Wow.
But it's got my New York life in the music, and my Asbury life, which is now with the other contributions.
Well, Asbury is the place to be these
Yeah.
days. So there's the back cover. I love it.
Yeah.
Very nice. And he took the pictures as well.
my friend Tim did.
Wow,
Yes,
nice
Tim Horn.
work.
Tim Horn. He's
Tim
a great
Horn.
photographer.
So this is John De Palma, my friend. His album is called Something Shiny. And where can they find it?
It's at Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, and if you want the actual disc.
Yeah, get the
go
disc.
to Lee Lessig, lmlmusic.com.
LML.
Music.com. It's on that label. He's the distributor for it.
Okay.
He did my first CD and was gracious enough to take this one on too.
Okay, we're going to go back and forth. So Chocolatina Q Dessert has joined us from Colorado. Hi, Chocolate. How are you? Amazing pastry chef. Okay, now Lisa, you and I, because most of the people on my show I know and I know well, have never met.
I know, but we have a lot of people.
We have so many people in common.
Lena and Rick.
Lena Katrakis, who
Sense for Love.
I love Lena. We were in Tony and Tina's together and have sung for years. And I love Rick Jensen, he's a good guy that's very approachable, but I've always been in awe of him.
Yeah.
Musically, I've always been like, oh my God, that's Rick Jensen. Even though I know him and he's my
Yeah.
friend,
Mhm.
I'm like, that's Rick Jensen.
I know.
Because when I first moved here, I remember hearing some stuff that he wrote and was so blown away that I don't even know if we had email back then. When I first moved here in 90, I'm trying to think.
No.
I think I wrote him a letter
No, we don't.
Yeah.
about his stuff, and he was really nice about it. But so, I'm always like, oh my God, that's Rich Hansen. So now, Lisa, spell your last name.
It's Yaeger.
Okay.
Jaeger, like Chuck Yeager.
Okay, because I asked her what's the
Jägermeister.
pronunciation.
Jägermeister.
Oh, I love it. Okay,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
easy.
it's
I love it. So that's your last name. So,
Mhm.
and you are currently also working on an
I
album,
am,
right?
yes, yeah, we're almost done with production.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So walk people through, because a lot of our, some of our people have made albums, and a lot of them have not. So what's that process like
Well, first of all,
for
I have
you?
to say,
What was it like for you?
For me, honestly, it was a little. From what you were saying, talking about having the arrangements done and having hire the band and all that stuff. So my music on my album is from my show that I did in 2017 called Jersey Girl.
I love it.
And it's a musical celebration of all of the legends and artists and musicians that grew up in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, so
Like-
I have
I love that.
Dionne Warwick and Janis Ian and Frank Sinatra and Whitney Houston and Phoebe Snow.
And did any of you know that all those people are from Jersey? I bet you
I didn't
didn't.
know Phoebe Snow was.
Yeah,
Me
Phoebe
neither.
Snow, she's from Teaneck.
And Janis Ian?
Really?
Yeah, Janis Ian wasn't born in New Jersey, but she lived like a high school. She went to high school.
Which Janis Ian song do you love? Because I love her.
I'm doing.
Can you say it?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's called the Crocodile song, actually. It's
Oh, all right. Okay,
fun
great.
little kind of.
Yeah.
So that was part of the whole journey too, was finding really not just the cover, the songs that are obviously there are a few.
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen. There's Bruce Springsteen. And,
Yeah, when you think of Jersey, I think Bruce
Yeah.
is one of the
Yeah.
first
right,
people
and
you
Frank
go.
Sinatra.
Of
There's
course.
Connie Francis on
Oh,
it
I
too.
didn't know Connie Francis was
I
from
have
Jersey.
Count
She is.
Basie.
My aunt went to high school with her.
She
My
did?
aunt went to high school with Connie Francis.
Wow.
Aunt Marie. Not
Was Connie a nice person to hang out with? Or?
she
Did
she
you-
was a couple years older than my
Oh,
aunt.
okay.
Okay.
She
Oh, I love that. All right, so
dines
this is
out on that
really
story
cool.
all the
So
time.
now I understand why the lights went out in New York, so we could be in
Yeah.
Jersey for the Jersey show,
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking about the album
Yeah.
with Jersey songwriters
Are
and
you going to
singers.
mention that your show won what?
My show went well.
What was okay?
I
Your
won
show
the
was called
Peace Corps
Jersey
Award for outstanding
What?
vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this year.
No, 2018.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was
That's
exciting.
hard to
Now,
do.
listen,
It's exciting.
Lisa got together with me down in Asbury Park. There's the Asbury Hotel, and on Monday nights they have an open mic kind of thing. And there's a wonderful pianist from Pennsylvania, New Jersey called Bob Egan. Maybe some of you guys might have heard of him. He's terrific, and he has an open mic there. And Lisa came down with me, and we went to it, and she blew the roof off the place. I mean, there's some talent. There's a lot of music in Asbury Park. It's a
Oh, I know.
vibrant music
It is,
scene.
actually.
A lot
It's
of
a
good
place
singers.
to be.
Yeah.
But she got them to be quiet. Nobody was talking while she was singing, and that's a real feat down there.
Now we
It's
were talking
terrific.
about famous Jersey people, and Chris DiPiero has come on and said also Chris DiPiero is a famous Jersey guy.
Yes.
He actually is. He's a great actor. He was in Tony and Tina's with me, and then he went on to do a million other things. And he's actually a filmmaker. He has his own radio show called Live from Jersey.
Oh.
Hey, maybe you'll have these guys on some night, Chris.
Yeah,
He broadcasts out of Fort Lee.
Oh, wow.
Great show.
Mhm.
And anyway, Chris does a lot of great things. So we just made a film, Chris, myself, and Susan Campanaro, and it got picked up for a film festival. Michael Vaccaro, we're going to be in LA
Oh my
for this
God.
film festival. October 11th, I believe, is opening night, and we're the opening film. So I'll let you guys know about that as it gets closer, and then it's
That's
coming to New York.
exciting.
It is really exciting, and Chris was he's the filmmaker, so it's really cool. John Sharp has joined us. Matthew Bennis has joined us. Wow, John Sharp is Shanna Sharp's brother. Shanna Sharp is an amazing singer, and John and Shanna and another brother, they own all these restaurants in the New York State area. Violet Carbone, that's my cousin, also a Jersey girl.
Ah.
see this? It's loaded
Wow,
up.
hi Violet, how are
Jersey
you?
heavy.
We're broadcasting from Jersey, Violet. We're in North Bergen tonight, beautiful North Bergen. The city is behind us.
It was so random. Maria called us at like 6:30 and said, "You know what? I don't know if it's going to happen in New York." And I live an hour away. I was almost at the George
I
Washington
know.
Bridge.
And what did I
And
say?
she said, "Get off! Don't
Don't cross the bridge."
Went right into Leonia. Went to the Starbucks in Leonia and hung out.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she said,
there.
Yep.
she said, "Hit the road."
Because I know if you're coming in from Jersey, you leave early because you
Yeah.
never know.
Oh,
It could
yeah.
literally take you an hour
Mhm.
or it could take you 2 hours
Yep.
because that traffic is really bad.
Whatever tunnel or
Bridge
or
or tunnel.
yeah.
Yeah, that's where the jokes, the bridge and tunnel crowd come from, right?
Yeah.
It's
There's
true.
literally no other way to get in.
So I knew that I live right near the bridge, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna go over that bridge, which is expensive, first of all. Second of all, once you get over it, then if you had to go back on to, and I didn't know where we were gonna broadcast from. I really didn't. I was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Should I wait it out and see if the lights come on? Should I take my landlords at their word? And then I said, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's not their
Con
fault.
Ed.
The Con Edison.
Yeah, yeah.
So even if my landlords have written, it'll go back on at 6. You know how it is.
Yeah.
So I called Judy, and she was like, come on over. And her, thank God she's one of these people whose apartment is always clean anyway. That would not be me. So I set it up before I got here, and then I just came in and set up my lights and my equipment, and Jimmy was nice enough. So here we are. Now, your show, Lisa, where was your show?
So I debuted the show at the Metropolitan Room, which is
Beautiful.
sadly
I
no
know.
longer there.
Out there in-
That was my favorite sound
Me
system.
too.
Mhm.
Me
I
too.
love all the clubs for different reasons, and they're all great rooms. You know, the duplex,
Yeah.
Don't Tell
Roy
Mamas,
Beachman.
Lori Beachman. I love that room
Mhm.
too. Right, I almost forgot about that. But the sound quality at the Metropolitan Room was exquisite.
It was.
As a singer, when I would get on that mic, I would feel like a star.
Yep.
I always had Jake. When I was
JP.
JP was
Yeah.
there. You
JP
know, that
was
guy
the sound
really,
guy.
he makes you sound great.
I don't know what it is. He's French.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
That's what, and he's married to Lena's sister.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
That's it. How can you not get it right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So you did your show there. It was
So I
also
did it-
called Jersey Girl.
Yeah, Jersey Girl. So that was the show I did, and then I did about 5 or 6 shows. I did Don't Tell Mama, Metropolitan Room. I did a Pangea, which is a great
Oh, what's
space.
that like?
It's
I've
so
never been
tiny.
there.
It's like it's small. It's like you're in somebody's living room. It's this tiny little stage. The sound is really nice. It doesn't
How
have
many
a lot
seats?
of lights. I think it's like
60?
60.
Wow,
Yeah.
perfect.
It's like old school, kind of like, it's in the back of a bar, and Steven is great. Oh my God.
He's the sound.
No, he's the
Booker?
Booker.
Booker.
He's
Oh,
so
nice to
great.
know.
It's just a really nice
Pangea,
place.
and that's on Second
Second
Avenue.
and second.
Second and Second. That's easy. 2 by 2,
Yeah.
right?
I'm looking for a place in November, December to do a little release gig for this, maybe 2 shows. I was thinking about that.
You should
I mean,
go.
but
Just go check it out.
Check
There's
it
a show
out.
there.
There's so
Don't
many
tell
good
Mama, though,
places
I
in
haven't
New
been there.
York. That's the thing, like there are your regular haunts and all that,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of new or quaint little rooms now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's nice.
There's that one. I think it's called the Green Room. It's at the
That's
Oh
Yost.
brand
yeah,
new.
that's
That's
a big
brand new.
room.
Yeah, and
that's on 42nd and back. That
Yeah, like
a lot of the show people go there.
Yes, yeah.
I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah,
I heard that
Don't
you're
mind.
not required. It's not. There's no
minimum.
minimum.
That is
I
amazing.
mean, so
And
But
the
how do they
permanent
make
thing is
money? I
really
think it's in a
nice.
hotel. That's why.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
So yeah, it's in the hotel, so they don't
Mhm.
care. They just want to get people in there drinking, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Jackie. So Michael, Jackie Fornatella has joined us, another amazing singer.
Uh-huh.
Nick Dote. Hi, Nick. I think you're out in LA. I'm not sure. Nick's a great singer and actor. Janet Betta, she's in Connecticut. Hi, Janet. How are you? Okay, so we're talking about both. This is John De Palma and Lisa Yeager, and they're both amazing singers. They both have CDs. John's has just been released a few months ago. Here it is again for the new people that have joined us. It's called Something Shiny. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Spotify. Where else, John?
And the actual CD, get it at LML
LMN.
LML Music.
Okay.
LML. We were talking about it. You know what I mean? I still think
I love
I
albums.
remember
I
when
like
I
the
was,
CDs.
Don't you,
I
don't you
always
guys?
do.
Did you
Yeah.
ever have an album that you got when you were a kid? I remember Elton John's Captain Fantastic.
Oh
That
my
was
God,
not
one of my
just great
favorites.
music. You would
The
open
artwork.
it, all the
Yeah,
artwork
all
in it. You know what I
I
mean?
know,
Like,
I love that. I still have a lot of my records.
Me too.
Like I just found a whole bunch.
I
of
just
them.
think that
Did you?
was
Yeah.
that was
Saved those.
important.
Years
to the
ago,
listening experience. You know, if you
Well,
look at
that's
the
what we would
artwork,
do.
the
We-
liner notes.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
and I used to read all of it. And it's
Yeah.
funny that you say that because it's one of the things I like about your album as well is that when I opened it, I was like, oh,
There's
this
a-
reminds me of like the way it used
Yeah.
to be.
Mhm.
You know,
I
and
found out once through liner notes that Tony Tennille was the backup singer on an Elton John album. She was a studio backup singer
isn't that
before she
something?
was part of Captain Tennille. Now, if I hadn't read the
The
liner
liner
notes, I
notes.
wouldn't have known that about her.
Or what used to fascinate me was I all of a sudden became fascinated with songwriters
Yeah, she-
because
Oh,
I would
yeah.
know the artist, but I think, like for instance, speaking of Tony Tennille, Neil Sedaka wrote that.
Mhm.
And I was a huge fan of Neil Sedaka's. And actually, Neil Sedaka's been on the show, but he called in from LA.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Oh my God, and I know him because I opened for him at a gig,
Wow.
and then we became friends.
Oh wow.
He's a great guy. a new book coming out and an album. So if you're a Neil Sedaka fan, that's also one of
Look up
the
his, you know his song "Going Nowhere." You gotta listen to that. You can't believe it's him, the same guy that wrote Calendar Girl.
right.
Listen to this song "Going Nowhere." It's
I'm gonna have to. My
brutal.
favorite one though is Hungry Years. Do you
Oh
know that
yeah,
song?
yeah. It's just like that. It's on the same album.
That's what I love. I love that. And The Immigrant, he's an amazing songwriter, but I discovered him as a songwriter looking at someone else's album. And then I realized he had written a ton of stuff. Like he also wrote for Jane Oliver. He wrote The Big Parade, which I
Oh,
love.
yeah, yeah.
So, you know, that's what I, as a younger person, that when we used to have albums, we would open them and
Yeah.
you'd sit around with your friends. And that was like a whole evening
Yeah.
of going through that. It was really cool.
And
So-
they don't, you know, like you can download, like you can get my CD or anybody's CD on Spotify or something. You're downloading
then
it, but
you
you're
don't
not
get the-
getting
Yeah.
that.
I
And,
like
you know,
it too.
they discourage you now from printing too many CDs, and I know it's going away, but I did 300 of them just to start, just to see how we go.
Well,
you know what
I
mean?
gotta tell you, like, I know they discourage. I mean, now it's changed, but like when my first album came out in like 1998.
1999.
Yeah, right.
99.
And I ordered 1,000,
Mhm.
and then I ordered another 1,000,
Yeah.
Wow.
and they sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my second CD, same thing. And then I ordered another because it was like the more you ordered, the more cost effective.
Right.
But also I went through them. And then a couple years ago, I reordered both of them again. And then I have about 300 left of the second because people just don't buy CDs much anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's okay, you know, they'll come back because
And they're not in the like I work for Subaru, and they're not in the car.
They're
and
not in the
they're
cars
not in the cars
anymore. I
anymore.
know.
They're still in. They're still in as of now, but as of next year, it'll just be an
the
option.
Toyotas, which I have a Toyota, they're not in the Toyota.
Yeah.
What you can buy, which I do have if you need it, is you can plug like an exterior thing in.
Into your car.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can listen to, or I have a little one that I sometimes, like if I'm going
Yeah.
on long trips,
Yeah.
I'll do that. But you know, they have their reasons, I guess. I don't know. Like anything else, albums now are coming back,
Mhm.
like actual vinyl.
Mhm.
You know,
You know what's interesting here? You write all original songs, and your CDs, your 2 CDs were all originals.
Right.
I have 3 that I wrote, but the rest covers. Did you? And yours are all
They're
covers.
all covered.
See,
All
so
covered.
it goes. I'm asking you guys, what did you? I found it. You know, it was difficult to do to put it together. Do you find it any more difficult to construct an album full of originals because you have nothing? You have no template. You have nothing to go on.
right.
So how do you?
Well, that's
how
a
do you
good
get 'em-
question.
How do you get them on? How do you get them tracked and on the CD? You just you tell
This
everybody
is-
the parts you want to hear. You sing.
This
it?
is my process. First, I want to say hi. Julie Angelina is from Australia.
Oh, wow.
She's watching
hey.
from Australia. Maria Filiamani, also Jersey girl. I miss you, Julie. Julie has an amazing, funny show called the Drunk Housewives of the Real Drunk Housewives of Australia. So you have to
Oh my
watch.
God.
The whole
It'll come back on.
country,
It's
wow.
real, and she literally is in her kitchen cooking, and she's broadcast. It's
Oh,
brilliant.
let's
And
check
she's
it out.
Italian. She's
Yeah.
Italian.
That's funny.
But anyway, so what I do, this is how I started, is I wrote a bunch of songs for children's shows because I was teaching in a junior high, working as an artist in residence. And then a friend of mine, actually Lynn Portis,
Mhm.
said, you know, you should put them all together. And so my process has always been first to you know, write the song, of course. I go to either Lynn or Karen Cole or whoever. I've written with a bunch of people, but those are my 2 main people that I write with. And I have a tune in my head. I go there, I have all the lyrics done, and they are wonderful at putting the music to it. In the
But you
chords.
play guitar.
I play guitar,
So
and
you-
I play by ear though, so I'm
Mm.
not a great sight reader,
Mm.
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
But I've written my own songs on the
Right.
guitar, and those like Sharon that you mentioned before, and My Mother and the Red Sox. Those are just I wrote. But then there's arrangements involved, and I let them do their thing.
You're right. You're
Mhm.
exactly right.
That's not my strong point. And so what I am good at letting people do what they do best, and I don't interfere. I may say, like I was saying before, there's certain chords that I love.
Mm.
You know, like God, I heard this chord in E flat 9th.
Mm.
Can you play that? And then once they play that, then they know where I want to go with that. Or I say, I want this to sound more like we're in a dream.
Mhm.
Or can you know, like whatever it is, I want this to sound like it's behind.
The arrangement.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like it's a wall of sound, whatever it is. And then we start to layer, like then I hire musicians.
Mhm.
I will hire different musicians to layer what they, and like, for instance, I have a song called Amputated Skyline, which is about 9/11
Mhm.
that I wrote back then. And what I did was I have a friend of mine, Jamie Dauber, is an amazing trumpet player, and then Sherry Miracle. They're both with the Diva Jazz Orchestra. She's a drummer. So I had them come live in the studio, and after I recorded everything, and I said, okay, I would like to hear like almost like it's taps, like we're going to a military
At
field.
the end.
The end.
Yeah.
And even the whole thing, I
Yeah,
wanted
no.
to have that intensity of we're down there.
Mhm.
And I want people to get goosebumps and feel uncomfortable. And
It is that, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, the arrangement of that song, it's not melodic like you would
Right.
expect. You know what I mean? It has a little dissonance in it here and there.
Yeah.
So it's all about that.
so and Jamie, that trumpet line is distinctive in the song. And she just wrote that. So I said, just do whatever you want. And it's funny because then we played it live somewhere and she was like, do you have a chart for this? I said, you wrote it. She said, oh my God, I think I just like winged it in the studio. So she had to go back and listen to it. And she's like, okay, I know what I did. But like, that's the cool stuff. I want it to be organic
Yeah.
with musicians.
I'm just dipping my toe into songwriting with the first CD. James Followell, who's my music director and co-writer, we wrote one tune on that because I didn't have a song to open my show with, so I wrote something to open it.
I like
and
that.
On this disc, I didn't really have one to end it, so I wrote one and then another one and then a third one. But
Wow.
I don't play any instruments.
It doesn't
So
matter.
I
I don't
sing
play
into a
them either.
recorder. I sing into a digital recorder,
Yep.
and then
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you do, I give it to James. And he puts it, he figures it out for me. And then again,
And then
like
you
say,
hear it and you go,
oh, this is good, or this is good.
or I want to do something different. Or,
Yeah.
guess what? We need now we need a few parts.
Mhm.
Or you know what? Like there have been a few times where there are certain chords that I love that I want to go to, and like say Karen Cole will be like, I'd like to do this instead. And I'll say, let's try it. And then I end up saying, can we go back and do, I really love that chord. And she's like, all right, whatever it is. So but I do let musicians do what musicians
Yes.
do best,
Yeah.
which is create.
Mhm.
And I'm not a micromanager at all like that.
Any success or anything that I've ever had singing was because I feel like I'm a true collaborator. When I did my first cabaret show, James, I just let him. He chose a lot of the music because he knew my voice better than I did. And it went over well because I just let it go.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to do that. I
Yeah.
know when I'm not. I know when I'm out of my league.
Right.
And that's what you hire professionals.
Right,
So
and that's what
I
it
did
is.
with
Tell
Rick
me.
on our.
Oh,
on
well,
our
you had
CD.
Rick. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rick is
genius.
just genius with the arrangements and just finding. I mean, we would go, okay, we would choose the person that we'd want, the musician. Okay, so we chose Whitney Houston, for example. We're going back and forth. Should we use her mom? Would we her mom? Have you heard her mom? Oh my god.
yes,
Yes.
Sissy
Oh
Houston.
my god, she's amazing.
Yeah,
And-
Jersey
and-
Girls.
Yeah, Jersey Girl.
Yeah.
So we were going back and forth. Should we do Sissy Houston or Whitney Houston? So then, we were trying to figure out which song. And then, there were some songs that we both decided, oh, we like this. Why don't we try? And then just sort of like figure out an arrangement for it.
Yeah.
And then there were ones where, for example, for the Whitney Houston one, where we said, all right, we're going to do I Want to Dance with Somebody. We're just going to do that one. We love it. And then Rick goes, I know. And then he sits down at the piano and it's just,
Comes
it was-
out.
Oh, he's a genius.
it was beautiful.
No,
And
he's
yeah.
amazing.
So you're just going, oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
You know who else does that?
So-
Michael Holland.
Oh,
who,
Michael.
who I absolutely, he knows how much I admire him.
Yeah.
I really,
He's
he's
great.
one of my idols.
Yeah,
Because
Michael
of
Holland.
how brilliant he is.
Mind
I remember
blowing, actually.
going out with him after the show. He music directed for me. He did a cabaret. He did my second show with me, and we would be out, and he would hear a song on the jukebox, and
You can play it?
immediately he starts thinking of another. He's like,
Another
he goes,
arrangement.
you know what this song is? It's this song, and it was like, oh my god, it's almost. He knows the chord
Wow.
patterns in his head, and he'll say, oh, that's exactly the same as this song,
Well,
and then he
he
starts
did
putting
the-
them together.
He did the,
Wow.
oh, I see.
I mean, he starts
So he was
putting
already
things
putting
together.
medleys together.
Wow.
He did the arrangements for Godspell on Broadway,
Yes,
the
yes.
revival.
Yeah.
Did you know
Yeah,
that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found out about that like while it was up. Somebody posted about it, and I was like, well, that makes sense.
Mhm.
And he's a brilliant songwriter in his own right. You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
yeah.
He's just a brilliant guy. He put together for my second show. Now is the month of Maying, which is a madrigal from 1545 with Annie Lennox's Little Bird.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
we did like a cappella. Now is the month of Maying, and then it went right into Little Bird. It was brilliant. And thank
Wow.
God, my brother, thank God I have it on, I still have that show on DVD. You know, it's just, I love listening to that, you know. When the arrangement is good like that,
Yeah.
when you do a mashup,
But you know what that's about though? That's about trust.
Mhm.
That is about on both ends. That's
Yeah.
about trusting as a person like a Michael Holland or a Rick Jensen. It's about trusting your own talent, saying,
Yeah.
"This is what I feel. It's almost channeling."
Yeah.
Will Tian Hall does
Yes.
that too, who I love. We wrote a song together maybe 2 years ago that I have to record. It's really good. It's called "This Is My America." It's beautiful. It's about immigration, but he just has this swelling stuff that he does that
Mhm.
because I said I wanted people to feel like we're on a boat coming to America.
Yeah.
And he created these lush things happening. I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Tim did when Tim did the stuff on the CD. He put the pad, you know, to start the song, and we were in Kevin Jasper's studio. Kevin was the driving force behind the CD. This guy, anytime I would go away from the project for a while, he was always pushing me. He's brilliant in his studio.
Wow.
But Tim would sit in there. He'd turn all the lights down, and he would just like start to
Oh, I
rock
love
and whatever came to him. You know, however he felt it, and that's all still on there. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It makes it's I love watching people
Mhm.
Yeah.
do what they
Do
do.
what they
Yeah,
do
they
and
do.
trusting them to do it. And that's what it's really about. And then, but also trusting your own instincts. If someone does something,
Mhm.
whatever it is, whether it's a director that directs you, where you're like, it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah,
Right.
It's okay to say, because we've earned our places in this world as
Mhm.
artists. It's okay to say that doesn't really feel organic to
Yeah.
me, So who directed your show?
Lena Katrakis.
Lena, we love
Yeah.
Lena. When
Yeah.
I went to your page to friend you, I saw that so many of people that we were friends
Yeah.
with, but Lena, I was like, oh, she knows Lena then.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny actually. We were talking about it because this is my second show. We were going back and forth. What should we do? I couldn't. I was just like, I don't know what to do. And she was actually in my car with me, and I was trying to find parking because we were gonna. And I couldn't find parking, and we didn't have enough time. So she's like, "I'll just get in the car. We'll drive around." So we're in the car, and music's on, and all of a sudden, Bruce Springsteen comes on the radio, and we both kind of looked at each other and went, "Jersey, that's it." And then we were like,
Wow.
"Oh shit!" So then we're just like sitting there and we're
See?
looking at who's from New Jersey, and then yeah, that was really
I
it.
love
It
it.
was
That's how it
funny.
was born.
That's how it was born. And then it was funny too because then she's like, "Oh, we could call it Jersey Girl," and then it's funny because I have like a love-hate relationship with New Jersey.
I think
I
most
couldn't
people
wait-
from New Jersey
Yeah.
do.
I couldn't wait to move to New York. I was like
Sure.
one of those, like I'm done high school, out of here,
Right, right.
And so I was kind of like, oh, but then once I started digging into all the music and all
Yeah.
this incredible artists, I started to I was Jersey proud. I'm like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
this is my state. Like this is
You know,
and it was kind of cool.
it's not to me. I grew up down at the shore, in that area. I've always thought, it's not. What do you think? You came from Massachusetts.
I came from
I don't
Massachusetts.
I don't think it's such a big leap. Like it's not like we're from Oklahoma.
Right.
And
Right,
dreamt
right,
about
right.
Yeah.
the big city. We
Yeah,
we
we're
grew up
East
in New
Coast.
Jersey
And
where
you probably
everything
went
was
to
New
the
York
city.
every 5 minutes on the
Right.
television
Yeah.
with New York anyway.
or
So-
Boston. Yeah.
So I just kind of like all right. I was living in Rutherford. I was happy there, commuting
Yeah.
into my job in Manhattan.
Right.
But I decided, once I made it, but it's completely different. The minute you cross over, it's a completely
It's a
different world.
well. I'll
Yeah.
tell you. Like I live in New York, of course, and I have since I've moved here from Boston 30 years ago,
Mm.
and I love it there. But I got to tell you, I teach in Morristown 1 day a week, and I started driving out, and I was
Mhm.
like, this is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then Judy lives out here, so I'm like, this is really nice.
Yeah.
And then you can park anywhere. It's beautiful, it's peaceful. So when I come to Jersey, believe it or not, I feel like I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like decompressing,
Mhm.
and the parking alone.
And
And I'm like, oh my god, you mean I can just pull into a space?
Yeah.
I don't have to drive around my block for 40 minutes. So things like
what
that.
you do miss, though, I have to tell you, and I said this in my liner notes. The one thing I miss about being in New York, because you don't get as much opportunity out where I live to be good, to be kind to people. You've said that. I think I
'Cause you're in
read
your
something
car.
on your website that said, one of the things you love about your bartending work
Yeah.
was that you get to hug like 20 people every
Mhm.
night.
Oh yeah,
Something like that. You did.
I do.
You said
It's
that.
true.
And
You don't-
I think when you're in the city, and
You're
this is in my
right.
liners, you have you have at least 10 opportunities a day to do something really nice for
For
somebody.
someone
Maybe you
else.
pull the stroller up the subway steps with them. You help. You know what I mean?
You're
You
right,
don't
you're
get
right.
that connection you have to really look out here.
Yeah, because you're,
And that was one of the things I
you're in
missed.
your car a lot.
Yeah, you're in your car.
Yeah.
Or
That's
you're,
what it
you're
is.
just in and out of places.
Yeah.
Yes,
You-
you're right. I
you
never
really-
thought of
You're
Yeah,
that.
not
that's
forced
true.
to on the subway going to Fordham University
You
or
have
to
to
work.
look at
You have to,
somebody
look
else.
at somebody
Yeah.
all the time. You know?
Yeah,
And I
you're
think that's
right.
why
You're
people-
right.
That
That
is one
is
of
true.
the beautiful gifts of
Yeah.
living in New York, any city, but
In
New
the
York
city,
especially.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? Speaking of that, I saw
That's
something
true.
really amazing. That you're right. These things happen in New York,
Mhm.
and I do love. I'm a very physical person, which not everybody is. So I always have to be careful because. But my one of my nieces is the opposite. She's very like. She's like, I'll hug you, Zia, but I'm not a hugger. But we were on the train. I was on the train with my nieces because they came to visit. We went to see Dear Evan Hansen, which, by the way,
Oh yeah.
mind
Haven't
blowing.
seen it yet.
Brilliant.
Everything that you want it to be, plus.
Oh,
And my friend Lisa Brescia is in it. She lives in Jersey. She's married to Craig Carnelia,
Yeah.
and
So-
she plays the mom, Evan's mom. And we went to see her, and so we were on the train coming back, and it was so crowded. It was like a Friday night. It was sweltering hot, and I could tell that they're not from here.
Yeah.
So they're like, but I saw then their baby started crying, like maybe a 1-year-old baby screaming at the top of his lungs. And the mom was like here next to us, and the baby was screaming. And baby can't stop baby
And there's
screaming.
nothing
Yeah.
you can do.
But a really like one of those random acts of kindness. It was a woman literally like a couple seats down that had some candy thing, and she turned around to the mom. She goes, "Hey," and she threw this pack at the mom. She's like, she waved
Shut
it,
that kid
and the
up.
mom was like, and like in a good way though,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
here, take it,
Yeah,
take
yeah,
my
yeah, of
candy,
course.
and it was closed. It was,
Mhm.
and she threw it, and the mom opened it, and the mom was eating the candy. She gave a little, and the baby was feeding the mom, and all of a sudden the baby was distracted,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and everybody was like, "Look at that! Like that, they'll never see each other
Yeah.
again."
Mhm.
And it didn't seem like shut your kid up. It seemed like the woman was like, "I'm a mom.
Yeah.
I know what to
get
do.
this.
I'm going to help this
Yeah.
woman out."
Mhm.
And the rest of us, of course, were grateful and all that. But it was just one of those. And I looked at the girls and I was like, "That's a New York moment.
Yeah,
You
it
can
is.
photograph that."
And the difference between New York, those things happening and out here, or out in where I live, about an hour away from here, is the opportunity is everywhere in New
Yeah.
York City when
Yeah.
you're living there. If
Well,
you're
also
awake,
'cause you're
like I say
walking.
in my liner notes, if you're aware
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
awake that these things are around you,
And
you
not-
can actually do it.
Yeah.
And not in your, well, I don't know
No.
now if you're in your phone all day. I don't know how many things you're going to miss.
Yeah.
But
Do you know what I
still.
do though? I'll tell you, it's funny because I'm older now, and so most people that I come across are younger than me. It's just the way it goes. So these young people that my first reaction is like, "Man, come on, connect! Like
Mhm.
you're so isolated from the world."
Yeah.
But I will actually stop them sometimes and say, "Honey, can you do me a favor?" And they're like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah.
I said, "Can you help me?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Sure."
Yeah,
They're
it's
dying
there.
to help.
Yeah.
So they will help. Like sometimes I'm carrying a lot of stuff on the subway, and I'm realistic. I'm not the spring chicken I used to be. My legs aren't what they used to be. So I'm like, I have to carry this. And I will stop a boy or a girl
Mhm.
that seems like they're, strong, and they are so happy to help.
Mhm.
So
That's great.
and also I manage a bar on the weekends, and most of my employees are like millennials, and I
Mhm.
have to say, "Guys, I need your help."
Mm-hmm.
And I would never have done that as a younger person because I didn't want to need anyone's help.
Right, right.
But it's good, people do want to help. They do want to do the right thing. You'd be surprised.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think the younger generation is just shyer. They don't know if you need them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they hide.
They hide.
They're shy. Yeah, you're right.
It's okay
They're
to
shy.
say, "Guys, come here. I need you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Lisa, now where are we going with the CD? You're almost
So
done?
I'm almost done. Well, we recorded the band. So I used all the musicians that I used on stage. So I had a
Oh, you did?
yeah. So I had Rick piano. I had bass, upright bass, and guitar.
Was it Marco
So
that played the
It
bass?
was Tom Hubbard.
Oh, great.
And
Wow.
I had two guitar players because I had so many shows and they all.
Yeah, yeah. They're
So,
busy.
but I used them both. So I have Sean
Wow.
Harkness.
Oh,
yeah.
Sean.
That's
and
great.
Stephen Barganetti.
I don't know
Steve
Stephen.
Barganetti. But
Oh, great.
yeah, so it was great, and they're both totally different
Yeah.
guitarists. So
Mm.
it was very cool to have for each show to have them in even. So it was
I
nice to
love
have
that.
them, and they actually played a couple songs together. So that, so I
Really?
have both guitars. on a
Wow,
couple
that's
songs. So-
beautiful.
Sean is everywhere.
Yeah, he is.
Sean, my joke with Sean, because he's been on my show, is Sean gets around.
Yeah.
And he laughs. And he's from Massachusetts like me. So we have like a lot of inside Massachusetts jokes, but he's so cute
Yeah.
and so nice. And
He didn't remember.
He's so
He played
talented.
on this.
He
He played
did?
on one track here.
but
Now, some of on a couple of these tracks, the music was recorded a few years ago.
Right,
All
right.
I
I've
did was
done
lay
that.
the tracks
I've
down,
done
and then
that.
you disappear, like
Right,
gets in
yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
And then later on, you pick it up again. He's on the he's on track 5 on that. His guitar work.
What
on
is it? Let me
called,
see.
If I had words, if I had songs.
Okay, so I wanna, let's go through some of these. So, because when I listened to it, Monster Under These
Tim
Conditions,
DePass.
I know. I'm a monster under these
Yeah,
conditions.
yeah.
I love that song, and I love the way because you made it, you gave it your own thing,
Mhm.
your own connection to the song. Well, I'm used to hearing Tim's,
Mhm.
and
Which is a great version.
I love Tim's version, and I also love your version, and that's why a a really good singer, because there's a lot of singers. Some of them are better than others, but to me, a good singer, it's not just about the quality of your voice, which you both are wonderful. It's what you're infusing
Yeah, yeah.
of yourself in that
Well,
song.
I picked that song because listen, everything on here, even though
I know.
everything on there resonates with me because somehow, that's me. Monster Under These Conditions. I'm good with people, but don't get too close. You know what I mean? Or
I
start to freak
love.
out.
I mean, so many of
Yeah,
these. Sleeping Man is beautiful. So many of these, I just love
And this
them.
is Dar Williams.
Blame it on my youth.
No, the one who knows. She's a New
I
York.
love Dar Williams
State- you know
actually,
her, right?
but I don't know if I know
That's
that.
that's from her. She's
Okay.
a really her album, The Honesty Room,
Yeah.
was like a soundtrack to my.
Okay, don't have that
1994.
album. I have the one with the
Yeah.
rain.
That's it. That's from
That's
there.
the one.
That song
Oh,
is on
okay.
there.
I'll have to
One knows.
re-listen
Yeah.
to that.
So
But anyway, so what are some of the songs? What would I won't say what's your favorite because I know as singers we have many different favorites depending on the day
Yeah.
and the mood. But what is on your album when you think about your album? What is the one that you always are like? That one I could just listen to every day.
On mine?
Yeah,
Oh.
that you feel less stressed about. Like because I know.
like you nailed it.
Yeah, okay.
And it's great.
Huh. I have to think because I have to say
Well,
there were a
tell us
couple.
some of the songs.
There were
you
a couple.
Okay.
I think one of my favorite vocally that I loved, which was I sang Jersey Girl. I sang the
Which
the
I
Tom
love
Waits
that
song.
song.
And the arrangement's really amazing. And we recorded that.
And that's the
actually-
Holly Cole wrote that, right?
No, Tom Waits.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Holly Cole covered it.
Yeah, and so did Bruce Springsteen.
Yes, that I
Yeah.
know.
So so we recorded that. I was doing vocal, scratch tracks the whole day with the band, just singing back there and having like, oh my God, the best time. And then at the end, my producer was like, "Do you want to just record a song?" I'm like, "Sure." So we recorded Jersey Girl, and I loved it. Like what came out, and we were both like,
Wow.
"Wow, that was really cool." And it was like the end of the day
Yeah.
where it happened.
Hardly ever
you know?
happened.
Yeah, ever. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, that was one, and then
I love
who's
that.
The other, I don't know. There's a couple good ones. I also sang a Mary Chapin Carpenter song. This shirt. So she's from Jersey. She's from
She
Princeton.
is?
She's from Princeton.
Now that surprised me because she's a country singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Did
from
you know
Princeton.
that?
Did
I bet
anybody
you didn't know that out there. Let's check with our people. Now, everybody knows my show, and about 9:40 we do a segment of the show called Go Ahead, Keep Eating.
Yeah.
Because I cook for my guests. Now, guess what, guys? Don't be upset with me. But because I had no electricity in my building, I couldn't cook. And
We're just gonna have to come over to your house. so you can-
no, but what we're gonna do is, if you have time, I would like to go to the diner across the street
Right.
Okay.
because I'm starving. And there's literally a diner across the street called the Riverview Diner, which is great, perfect Jersey
Perfect.
diner, and so that's what
A
we'll do.
diner.
Diner
We're
in
gonna eat at a
Jersey.
diner. Why
I
would we
know,
not?
I know.
We're here.
And how many diners are closing now?
I
But
know.
Jersey still has great diners. However, John did bring. Now you have to do it with me though. So the segment of the show is called "Go Ahead, Keep Eating." So let's do it.
Okay.
Ready? Segment of the show is called
Go ahead, keep eating.
All right. So John, being an Italian Jersey guy, brought us
Oh,
beautiful
my God.
pastries. John,
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us where you went.
I went to Del Ponte's Bakery in Bradley Beach, which is down by Asbury Park where I live, and I just brought a box full of this stuff.
Oh, my God.
And I
Look
told
at this.
Maria, my grandmother, her motto was, you don't show if when you show up to someone's house, you better be ringing the doorbell with your elbows.
And what does that mean,
You're so
American
happy.
kids?
Your arms are so full of stuff. and
Food that you're
clothes,
like,
you know,
oh, I can't, right? Because you're carrying stuff, and it's true. And anyway, so thank you. That was so. I've been on the low carb diet, but I'm gonna have cannoli. I
Yeah,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah, because I can't stay on it much longer. But
Yeah,
anyway, I can't do it.
It's
And
a
we'll go-
lot.
All right, so Thomas Lyman from Boston.
Oh,
Hi,
Russ Woolley.
Thomas.
Yeah, Russ Woolley.
Who's Russ Woolley? Is that one of your friends?
Hi, Russ.
Yeah.
All right, hi,
Yeah,
Russ
he's a
Woolley.
producer. He's he just produced?
Jeff Campbell.
Jeffrey Campbell is my
Oh,
great,
and
great
Richard
friend.
Skipper. He
He's-
did Richard Skipper's show.
Oh my God. Jeffrey's from Jersey. Well, he's originally
Is he
from
a guitar player?
Arkansas. No, he's
Okay.
an accountant.
Okay.
However, an incredible classical pianist.
Oh, wow.
Incredible, like Rachmaninoff stuff.
Nice.
And I've gone to see his recitals, but he's my great friend. I love Jeffrey.
Hi, Richard.
And Richard Skipper,
Richard.
how can you
Yes.
not
Yes.
love?
He
He's
was
been on
great.
the
I
show
saw his
twice.
last night. It was
I
great.
heard
Did you?
Yeah.
He just had a
I was
huge
working.
success on something, right, Richard?
Where does
Didn't
he
you do,
not-
Didn't you just do your? Oh, it was
Last
last
night.
night,
I
right?
just
Yeah.
saw it.
just
Three of
went.
my favorites, he said. Richard, we
Aw.
love you.
Richard, you gonna do that show again?
I hope so. I couldn't go because I was working, Richard. He knows I work all the time. I work every night almost.
Sean,
Greg Goodbroad, who's amazing. He's been in so many tours.
Mhm.
He's an amazing singer, and he works at Brandy's, and I work with him at Brandy's. Rena Crugnali, what she said, go ahead, keep eating. She knows. I'm telling you, the regulars know.
Go ahead,
Keep
keep
eating.
eating.
Love the review. Chris DePiero, where are you? Want to join us? Seriously, you would love Chris. We're going to the Riverview Diner. The
Oh,
show
yeah,
will end
join
at
us.
10. I
Yeah,
just
come
have to
on,
put my
Chris.
equipment away. Probably about 10:15. You want to join us? Come and join us. You will love Chris. He's a great Jersey guy.
All right.
Okay, grilled chicken with veggies he gets. All right, so we've acknowledged our people. Now, again, I want to remind people how they can get. So your album, how long
So
is
my
this
album,
before it's
it
Couple
probably-
months?
Yeah, a couple months probably.
realistically?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
This is what I would want you to do. When your album is complete and is ready that people can get it, will you remind me? Will
Yes.
you actually?
I will shout it from the rooftops.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
And will
Everyone
you
will
post
know.
it on my page?
Yes, I will.
And then I will post it on the What's the Story with Maria page.
Yeah.
Because people are doing stuff all the time, and I like to do that. Like people do shows, they send it to me, Marcus and all those,
Mhm.
and I put it on the What's the Story with
Oh,
Maria
great.
page.
Good, good.
Because our listeners then will be like, oh, wow, I remember when Lisa was on and John was on. I want to go see her show. I want to
Yes.
buy
Yeah.
that album.
Yeah.
And even though a lot of there's Joe DeChico, also a Jersey guy.
Wow. we have
Hi,
Jersey.
Joe.
Jersey in the house.
Yeah, we're broadcasting live from Jersey tonight, which is the name of Chris DePiero show,
Mhm.
live from Jersey. But we're at Judy Mason's apartment in beautiful North Bergen, and behind us, John, duck a little bit. We
I
have,
am. There you go.
I know
Should
it's
go
hard
the
to
other-
see.
This way or the other way?
No, that's whatever way. It doesn't matter. We have the skyline. It's hard to see.
There you go.
The skyline's behind us. It's
It's
beautiful.
gorgeous here.
I know it is.
It really is, and this apartment's beautiful. So thank you, Judy Mesa,
Thank
for
you.
letting us
Thank
borrow
you,
your
Judy.
apartment.
Thank you.
Now,
Yeah.
let me see where we're at. We have about 10 minutes
Mhm.
left. So what? Okay, so John, for you, how long did the album take to do?
Well,
'Cause I know these things take
originally-
years.
They do, you know, and it wasn't. It's been in my mind. This particular selection of songs, with the exception of one or two, changed. But it's been since I released my first one, which was 2003, and then like maybe 2005, I started thinking of this, and I started recording some stuff
Mm,
in 2006. The tracks.
I
the
know, that's
music.
what it is.
And I recorded a lot of different tracks. I did a Bruce Hornsby song. We did a Nick Kershaw song. None of that stuff made it. But what happened was, you know, I moved out of the city. Life happens. And
Right,
here we are 17 years later.
I
In the
know.
last year and a half, I went back and dug it all out, the stuff that I could use, re-recorded any vocals I had done. I just re-recorded them because I think my voice is
It's
mature,
better.
changed in 17 years. I didn't want anything old on there.
Well, that's the thing. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you guys believe in this, but just the spirit, I feel like energy is in those tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And once you seal it,
Yeah.
that energy of that day or
Oh,
that
yeah.
year is in there. I remember a couple of songs, like you just said, that I recorded in certain years and I thought they were great. And then I went back and listened. And it wasn't that the vocal, like I did mature. My voice actually got lower. I changed a certain sound,
Mhm.
but I liked it better. It was,
Yeah.
was warmer. But what I didn't like maybe was that time that I had recorded that. Maybe there was a sadness.
Mhm,
Maybe
mhm.
I was in the middle of a
Oh, yeah,
relationship I didn't
yeah.
want to be in. Whatever it was, I felt like that energy was encapsulated
Mhm.
and forever frozen.
Yep.
And I didn't want it on my new album.
Yeah.
So there was stuff, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
There's a stridency in some of my vocal on this, you know, that I did, you know, was trying to put myself where I was
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I sang it like
Right.
that. But now I'm moving into more, the stuff I'm doing now is, and I was going to tell you this,
What?
you don't have to do, everyone's telling me, I'm sure you guys might agree, you don't have to do a whole CD anymore. You record, you get in there, you
Yes, you're
record one
right.
song, you record two songs, and you release them as
You know, I
singles,
never
and then when
thought-
you get 10,
Yeah.
you put them together in an album, they're done.
I guess you're right. I never thought of that because I have 8 songs.
Yeah. So
already,
what
but-
you would do is go in and record record 2 of them
Right.
and release an EP on Spotify.
On Spotify.
Just get it out there. You know what I mean? Put it up on your page. Then do 2 more or 1 more. And when you get 8 or 10
Yeah.
that are finished,
See why I
put
love
them
these
together in an album.
conversations?
It's such a great idea.
That's
Because
the
you don't
advice
think-
I've been getting
but-
from Kevin Jasper, my producer. He's amazing, and he's always right. And he said, "Look, you don't have to do a whole nother project because what'll happen is it becomes overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
You think, oh, I don't have the $25,000 underneath to
Right,
do this.
right.
I don't have the time. Do
People do not realize, folks, let me tell you
I
something.
know.
You know, when your friends make CDs or someone that you
Oh, yeah.
admire or new people, you just met 2 new people maybe, and you're like, oh, I'm going to get their albums. You don't realize the amount of money that a CD and the amount
Oh,
of
yeah.
time, blood, sweat, and tears, man, that requires. So when you listen to someone's CD, just know that, this is wonderful. Oh, look at this. It's beautiful, something shiny.
You
I
have to
love
pay somebody to do
Yeah.
that.
every
All
single
of-
thing
yeah,
on
like all
here
the-
costs money and also time and like so much love and passion. So we are people that love what we do. We're
Mhm.
very passionate and we have jobs that finance our art.
Mhm.
You know, I talk to young people about this all the time. I'm like, you can't just think that you're going to be a writer all of a sudden, or you're going to come here and you're just going to be on Broadway. You probably are talented enough to be anything you want to be because you moved here, but it's what are you going to do in the meantime to make money
Mhm.
to finance that? Are you going to wait tables? Are you going to work in an office? What are you going to do? Figure it out because you're going to need to do it.
Mhm.
And that there's nothing wrong with that. I want to tell people there's nothing, you're not selling out. You know, people have said, oh, I feel like a sellout. And I'll tell you what a sellout is: doing nothing, not having any money to do anything, and having to move back home
Mhm.
because you ran out of money.
But also those jobs, I feel like, you know, you learn from all that
Right.
stuff,
Of
and
course.
you grow and you meet people. I mean, some of my best friends are from waitressing jobs. And I had
Absolutely.
over 20
Right.
years ago,
Oh
they're
my
still
God.
my best friends.
Yeah.
And I've learned from, you know, you have stories and you have all that to
Yeah,
bring to your
exactly.
music.
I love
you know,
that, yeah.
so-
And
And
I've
go ahead.
learned that I don't have to, you know what I mean? I don't think I ever was thinking I would be famous or, you know, though I will, you know, I probably could have auditioned for Broadway shows when I was 10, 15 years ago or 20 years ago, 25 years ago, maybe. But the thing is, I always had jobs so that I could finance my music. So in other
Right.
words,
It's
I've learned
just
to
a
live with the
reality.
fact that, you know, I work for Subaru.
Mhm.
But
Right.
I also have this amazing thing that I like to do on the side, and I'm okay with it being just what it is.
Yeah,
And
but
if something
isn't
great
that
happens,
But
and
great?
because
you
you
touch
have
people,
that
yeah.
outlet. Some people
Yeah,
don't
you gotta.
have
I
that
always feel
outlet.
you gotta have.
Right,
You
you
gotta
have
have
to
a
have
balance
your outlet.
between work and some kind of outlet.
Yeah.
You can't just have your job and your bills.
Mhm.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
No,
and this
absolutely
is, and this
not.
is what I do, and I'm so happy that I finally. You know, I wanted to do this while my mom was alive because she was a huge fan of this idea.
Mm.
It didn't happen that way, but you know what? It's done.
Mhm.
You know, and somehow I think she passed away, and all of a sudden I
Right,
started finishing it.
right.
mean? I
Because
don't
that
know
was
why
her
I will.
wish too.
Maybe,
and
yeah,
you're
you know.
fueled by it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I believe in that so much
Sure, of
so
course.
that, you know, like, and we are carrying a legacy, you know, of our parents and our grandparents, you
Mhm.
know, that came here from wherever or have been here for generations. But, you know, they instilled in us work ethic. And so we continue and we finish things and we have their blessing, whether it's here on earth or in heaven. And I completely believe
And their
that.
music. This is my dad. I mean, my dad was a vocal. He loved. I don't know about your influences, but he always had Ella Fitzgerald, Ed Ames, Nancy Wilson, Sarah Vaughan. That's all I listened to growing up. And then the Carpenters.
Oh,
And then
my favorite.
And then Led Zeppelin.
Carpenters, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had a little bit of everything. So when I always say when in my mind, maybe it's not coming across that way, but in my mind, I'm channeling Karen Carpenter.
My favorite,
The clarity of
my
it, that's
very
all.
favorite.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by warmth. What people forget about Karen Carpenter is it wasn't her highs that were impressive. It was her
Oh,
lows.
Yes, you do,
Oh,
and you have
yeah.
that.
And that's
that
what I
stage,
love, you know.
yeah.
But when I listen to her, I think,
Yeah.
okay, Maria, you don't have to be the highest singer in the house.
Mhm.
Just own what you do.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, I studied classical. I used to do all that stuff. And when I came to New York and, you know, I was doing all the theater stuff and I was singing all that stuff. And then when I found cabaret, I was like, oh, this is,
yeah,
Yeah,
you get to
because-
be you.
yeah, and, you know, you're not that
You get to
character,
honor
you're not-
the singer's job, in my opinion. This is my opinion, is to honor the writer, the
Mhm.
lyric.
Yes.
So it doesn't, you know, you don't need all the vocal
And that's-
pyrotechnics. You don't need all that, which is distracting.
Yeah.
You just need to I want people to dig the songs the way I dig them.
Right.
So I'm trying to sing it so they get it.
Yeah, I love that. And also, Lisa, what you were saying, so probably studying for all that, you had to play roles.
Mhm.
So what I love about cabaret is that we would
Yeah.
get to see Lisa.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Tell
Lisa,
my story.
tell your story,
Yeah,
not Lisa playing a role, which I'm sure is
Exactly.
beautiful. That's
Yeah,
great.
but
But how
wasn't-
wonderful
Yeah.
and intimate,
Mhm.
and what an honor for a listener and an audience member to say, wow, I'm that person on stage. I'm going to get to hear and see them
Yeah,
in their
exactly.
entirety,
Exactly.
and their
Yeah.
vulnerability and their
Mhm.
intimacy,
Mhm.
and they're trusting me with that.
Yeah.
I am always
I
in
love
awe.
it.
And
I
that's a
love it
high.
too.
That's a
And
high.
that's
When
a
you,
such
Yeah, when
isn't
you
it?
leave a show like that,
Are you kidding me?
have, oh, I want more.
One of
Yeah.
my neighbors, my next door neighbor, Dana, who I love, he's just the greatest guy. He came to, I did a show a few years ago, and it was just all my original stuff. But I just wanted to do a birthday show. It was my birthday, and I wanted to do, and he was so cute. He came and sat in the front row, didn't tell me, but he taped it,
Mhm.
Oh.
which, they tell you not to do. But then about a year later, he was like, don't be mad at me. But I just want to let you know I did tape it, and I think you'll be pleased. But if you don't want me to, I'll erase it. I was like,
Yeah.
let me hear it. And it was beautiful because I wasn't worried. I wasn't videotaping it. I just wanted to have a birthday show and do
And
my
he
song.
and he caught
He
it.
caught it.
Yeah.
And I said,
It's
wow,
like-
you know what? Like, this is what we do. We bare our souls and we hope someone likes it.
Yeah.
And I could hear certain audience members like laughing or clapping or yelling stuff out. Like my friend Jeffrey Campbell I was talking about earlier, like I could hear his voice and, and I'm like, wow, my friends were there too, and
Yeah.
they care about me. And so stuff like that. Let me just check our
Yeah, we gotta
time
go.
because we got to go. Oh my God.
Oh.
All right. So Jimmy, I don't know if Jimmy can hear us, but we usually are almost done at this time. Jimmy, are you there? How much time do we have? I'm going to say that a minute. Thank you, Jimmy. So I do want to thank Jimmy Bell. He is our producer and engineer. He's in New Hampshire.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy's an amazing guy. I got a hold of him last minute. Last week, Jimmy's power was out, which was so
Oh, yeah, I
crazy.
saw that. It was blanked
Yeah.
out in the middle.
Oh,
Jimmy's
wow.
power was on. He came on. He was like, my power's up. And this week, my power's out. So Jimmy, they're going to be talking about us. For both. But he's in New Hampshire and I'm in New York. And we want to thank Judy Mace again because she lent us her beautiful apartment. And John De Palma, thank you. Just beautiful album. Lisa Yeager, I've never met you, but I know we're going to be friends. I love you,
We are,
honey.
yes,
Wonderful.
yes.
And please follow both of these people. Thank you. Come back every week, 9 p.m. Eastern. Because let me tell you something about me. Come hell or high water, I will be
It goes
here.
on.
The show will go
New
on.
York, New Jersey, wherever.
That's it. Okay. Good night, everybody from
Bye.
Jersey.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right.